episode 16 of Saving a Beauty. I am your awesome host over here on the West Coast, Carly, and I am joined by my other two amazing co-hosts. We have Ishmael up in Toronto, who has to leave us in a little bit to go cover a game, and we have Rob, who we are so happy to have because he was stuck in traffic. So, how are the two of you doing today? Don't mean to poke the bear.
I'm doing very good. The weather is getting nice. It's been getting warmer now since it's June. So loving the weather since it's very cold up in northern Canada. Since I think you know about that fact very well. But yeah, weather's nice and the mood is also getting brighter now.
Nice.
You want to
Rob.
poke the bear? The bear is cranky right now because the bear just sat in 2 hours of traffic. Why do you people care that I sat in 2 hours of traffic? Well, I'll tell you why. Because Rob normally would take about 45 minutes to get home from his destination to be ready for this wonderful podcast that we do every week for you people out there that love hockey. But because I am so dedicated to my craft, I came home, and even though the wife says, you have before 8 o'clock, if you're doing a podcast, I am eating dinner without you. You know what we're having for dinner tonight, guys? We are
What?
having steak.
Ooh.
And I don't miss steak. Steak is
No.
like numero uno for Rob.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. I rushed home, got out of my clothes, threw a t-shirt on, and I said, all right, guys, we're going to do a podcast tonight, even if it's a shortened version, because our fans want to know. Tonight, as we tape this show, tonight is game one of the Stanley Cup final. Not finals, no S, final. Between the Carolina Hurricanes, the most boring team in hockey, and, thank you, and the Vegas Golden Knights, who just seem to go in the finals every 3 years.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, for all you boys and girls out there, we're going to, first of all, talk about the last two series that ended, because we didn't talk about them last week. And we're going to preview the series that begins tonight. We will give you our predictions. We will give you our Conn Smythe Trophy winners. And we'll see how we do. And then we're going to come back next week when everybody's in a much better mood, especially me. And we're going to do a longer show. And we'll be talking about what's been happening so far. We have some news and notes to talk about today, which Ishmael has already given me it's like the Declaration of Independence here. Long list. We may not get into all of this. I don't think we will, but we'll see. But guys, let's recap what happened since we last were here.
We were all wrong.
We were all wrong. Even Ishmael, who kept predicting
Ishmael
that.
was kind of right because he said they wouldn't win unless Montreal took shots on goal, and they did not. So Ishmael was partially right.
That is true. That's true.
I'll give him a 50%.
And we'll give Ishmael credit because he got half of the final prediction correct.
Yes.
Not all. Got one team he got right. Not both. I got neither. Carly, did you have Carolina in the final? No. You didn't have Vegas either,
I
did
didn't
you?
think so.
Well, neither one of us did. So Ishmael's glass is half empty or half full, however you want to say it. But congratulations, Ishmael, on getting Carolina in the finals, but you fucked up with Colorado, so we're not going to talk about that. So, yes, since we last were here, we had already seen Colorado go bye-bye, but we're still at Carolina against Montreal, and Montreal's problem was they don't know that you need to take shots in order to score a goal. Somebody could explain to them that you need to shoot to score. Maybe they would have understood it and maybe played better. But I think at the end of the day, they were eliminated in 5 games. Carolina was just a better team, more experienced, more veteran team. Montreal's got a great future, but I just think that they were too young and more than anything, too tired. You know, after playing 2 series that went 7 games and putting a lot of effort in, and I've seen this happen in the past to my team when the Rangers back in 2015, 2014, they had to play all these 7-game series leading up to the final rounds. They were just exhausted. I just think that Montreal was plain exhausted. But, hey, give them credit.
They had a lot of downtime because of their series, so that was also in their favor.
That is true. But, give them credit. They played much better than anybody expected. Goaltending was much better than anybody expected. They have a future now. Now, they all thought that Jacob Fowler was going to be their goalie of the future. He may not be right away. Jakub Dobeš performed very, very well.
Yeah.
And if I'm Montreal going into next season, I got a nice tandem there. I got a young goalie, Dobeš, and I got a rookie goalie, Jacob Fowler. They're set for a while in goal now, which, 2 years ago they thought they had no goaltending. So, to the Canadian of the three of us, what were the thoughts of you being a proud Canadian the team that you hate the most. How is it up in Canada? What were people saying about the Canadian downfall? We
Well,
don't have to hear the, we don't have to hear
the,
the ole 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 anymore. That's chant because I'm just
I think that the bigger story of the hour in Canada is that the drought continues for a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup. You know, it's been since 1993. You know, it's basically impossible for a team to for a Canadian team to go that long without winning a Stanley Cup. But lo- lo- uh, you know, it happened anyway. So I mean, that's been the news. Uh, you know that's how it's been. But you know, Montreal you know gave it all. But you know, it all came down to those shots. You know, and of course, you know, they're a young team, of course. But you know. That's the big news. The drought continues for a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup, and it seems like it's going to be a while as well.
so Ishmael. Let's put pressure of the whole country of Canada on your shoulders. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. I want your prediction, and Carly and I are going to write it down. And we're going to hold you to this. All right. So there are 6 Canadian teams in the NHL, correct?
7.
Right, 6, huh?
7.
Right? 7. Sorry, my bad. Traffic just killed my mouth. Anyway, right now, gun to your head. I don't want to promote violence, but fake gun to your head. Which Canadian team, out of all of the Canadian teams, and Carly's got the pen out, which Canadian team will be the first Canadian team to win a cup since 1993? Where will it be coming from?
I mean, the proof is right in front of you. Like Montreal got the furthest, and I think they'll have the best chance to get. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, being
Get down, Carly.
I did.
So you're predicting Montreal ahead of your beloved Maple Leafs?
Let
I
me
mean,
see.
I mean, it depends on
David ahead of the hated Oilers? You're predicting Montreal will be the first team to win a cup.
And I dated it, so
It's official now.
it's official.
June
Let me get
1st.
it notarized.
There you go. No,
I mean, Edmonton has to fix. Well, you know, I've been following the AHL, and Edmonton has some good prospects. But we will get to that when training camp comes around. So, but for now, I'll stick with the Montreal Canadiens.
For all you Canadian fans out there, Ishmael just gave you the kiss of death. And the reason I say that is Ishmael is a Maple Leaf fan. How long have they been waiting for a cup? Many, many years. 57 to be exact. Going on 58. He now just said your team's going to win a cup. So basically, Montreal, you're screwed for another 55 years.
I mean, it's a promising young team.
It is a promising young team. I think they need to get a little bit more physical. They need to get a little bit bigger. I think they have a very solid offensive group up front. They might look to get some defense in the offseason, although their defense is pretty sound too offensively. I think maybe get more of a solid defensive defenseman, but and goaltending. And all of it be coming from Jeff Gordon, who all of us here in New York all know was the former GM of this team. And we just kicked him out because the owner of the Rangers is an idiot. He's too obsessed with the Knicks right now, and they're in the finals tomorrow. Good luck. Great. But Jeff Gordon's doing a great job, and I do expect to see Montreal back in the mix next year. But they're gone now.
Yeah.
So we want to say goodbye to Montreal. Congrats. We'll see you. Enjoy the summer. Carly, you have any
I don't
thoughts?
think they were too sad for losing against Carolina because then they immediately went to a Luke Combs concert and shotgun beers on stage. So I really don't think they were
Really?
that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Where did you hear this?
Oh, it was on Instagram. There's a video.
Really? Canadians, the drunken fools that they
Well,
are?
Caulfield, Suzuki,
Oh, the people that didn't show up. Okay, good.
yeah.
Okay.
A few others. But yeah,
I don't think you guys are aware that Montreal is like the party town of Canada.
no, I had a feeling.
I thought that was Toronto. No, it's Montreal. There's
No.
more strip clubs in Montreal, as far as what I've been told.
Yeah, yes, that's the reason
That
why
I
it's the
know.
party.
But of course, I'm not there. I know this. How do I know this? I don't know.
Google. That's
Mm.
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, these young kids were just letting out their frustration and having beer. That's
That
okay.
or they just didn't want to get a refund for tickets. I don't know.
You just spill your water.
I'll be right back. Something blew away.
Okay. Bye.
No, I'm here. Something just blew away. I had to go get it, so it's fine. Okay, I'm back. We're outside, boys and girls. That's why Rob is wearing sunglasses. It's a beautiful day here.
Did that cool you down a bit?
70s. Tomorrow will be 90. Woohoo! Yay!
Welcome to my life.
Yes. Anyway, but they're gone. So let us now start to talk about what we're going to see beginning tonight. I will tell you, a lot of people that I have heard from and spoken to are not excited about this series. A lot of big hockey fans have even said to me, Rob, I'm not even going to watch. I don't care. I don't like either team. Carolina doesn't excite me. There's no superstars. Vegas just won it a couple of years ago. I don't really care about Vegas. It's a shame because it could be a very good competitive series, but I'll be very curious to see how the ratings are going to do in this series. But it begins tonight. The three of us will be watching. They got 3 people to watch. That's good. And it begins in Carolina, where the Hurricanes, who are now 12-1 in the playoffs, which is pretty impressive,
That's great.
will be battling the Golden Knights, coached by my favorite coach, which is why I have his name in my name, John Tortorella. So, but you guys didn't notice that? It's there, Torts.
No, Ishmael's waving at his cat.
Ishmael's cat has joined the conversation. Apparently the cat is pissed off at Ishmael because it's not feeding him. I don't know. Ishmael, does your cat have anything to say?
Oh,
What is he doing?
I don't know. I just love how Ishmael waved at him twice.
This has now become a cat video on YouTube.
We are
This
a
is-
meme.
Oh, kitty. Hello. Time to go,
Yeah.
kitty.
no, I mean he just wants that attention while I'm with you guys.
We,
Just cuddle him.
sounds like you. We need to rub your head too, maybe. I don't know. All right. We'll let the cat just stay there. We'll keep going.
Carry on. Don't
Carry
let
on.
him-
Okay.
So let's preview this series. Guys, I want to get your thoughts before I get into my thoughts on your series thoughts, positives, negatives, strengths, weaknesses, etc. And then after we do all that, then we'll get into our predictions on who we think is going to win, how many games, and who's the consummate. Carly, before we talk about the predictions, what would you say are the strengths and weaknesses of each team?
Well, to start off the bat, Carolina has a terrible power play percentage. So that is not going to help them if they can't get that figured out. Because Vegas has kind of a better percentage on their power play. So I think that's going to be a weakness for Carolina. Carolina also, I mean, I was talking to Ishmael before we started, but like they have one dominant line that has consisted, I think, of total like 43 points, which is great, but it's a single line. So kind of wanting, if no one else steps up, it could be an issue. But their special teams has a high percentage, and they have a really good penalty kill. Vegas is pretty like in the middle on those for me, from what I've been looking at. So I think they have a few more powerful players on their team. So I think just Carolina's biggest downfall is just going to be that power play. When it comes to it, that's not going to work in their favor with Vegas. And that could be a big issue.
Ishmael,
All right.
what would you like to say?
All right, so Carolina, I will agree with you. Here's the thing: when you contain one line of theirs, the other one pops up. When you contain that line, the other one pops up. They've got scoring from every direction. They're unpredictable. They have the chemistry, the teamwork. That's what's been working for them. They've been scoring from so many places that their main score. I mean, Rob, you told me, you said once, I think last season, that if you asked anyone in America that name any other player from Carolina except for Sebastian Aho, they won't be able to name anyone. And Sebastian Aho is the one who's been non-existent, and even without him, like they've gone so deep into the playoffs, So because they got scoring from every line, like the fourth line was what got them through with the Canadians. So they've got the chemistry, they've got the teamwork. I will argue that the only reason why they lost that first game because they've had the rust from 11 days of rest. That's the only reason I will argue. Whereas the Vegas Golden Knights, they've got the stars, they've got Mitch Marner, they've got Jack Eichel, they've got Stone, and they in the middle, they were having a sloppy season, but then they added 2 wild cards in the middle. They got John Tortorella, and they got Carter Hart. Check this out. Since coming into the league, Carter Hart has been 11-3-3, like 11-3-3 in the league, and in the playoffs he's been 12-4-0. So look how much he's improved the whole team, you know. So Aiden Hill has been a no show since then. Like he's been irrelevant since. So, you know, and one thing I told Carly, like the Leafs have had so many players who've left, the team like Tyler Bozak, Nazem Kadri, Lanny McDonald, Phil Kessel, who've gone on to win Stanley Cups with other teams. Now it's going to either be Freddie Anderson or Mitch Marner. So I mean that's how bad it's for us now. So
Call the Leafs the stepping stone in the league. That's what you play here. Go somewhere else and win. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts.
by the way, I want to mention you. There's one streak that's been broken since 2019 in this Stanley Cup.
A streak?
Yeah,
Has it been broken?
yeah,
Does it involve a team or a player?
a team.
A team.
By the way, Corey Perry didn't make the final this time.
That's right. He did not.
Yeah,
Corey
good.
Perry did not make the finals.
Yeah, so that's one streak. Okay, so the
One
other
streak's over.
the other streak is for the first time since 2019. You're not seeing a team from Florida in the final.
That's right.
Okay.
We'll have the Southern team in Carolina, but no Florida teams. You are
None.
correct. Yes, that is correct.
Crazy.
Well, thank you for that wonderful
I
information.
like that little fun fact.
Yeah, that's a little snippet there.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Carolina, as I've said many times on this show, their team is a bunch of robots. They're interchangeable. I don't know one player from the other. They all look the same. They all skate the same. They're all about the same size, same speed. They're like cyborgs, but they have a good system. They're led by a very good coach who has installed a very good defensive system with them. They are a very good defensive team. You talk about their specialty teams. Their power play might not be good, but their penalty killing is very good. And it's been very good for a number of years. Goaltending, which we thought would be a weakness, has done well. However, do we really know if Freddie Anderson's really been tested? Not only in the last round, but in the entire playoffs. I mean, I think a lot of people think that Carolina had it pretty easy getting to the finals. They had no challenge with Ottawa. Excuse me, Philadelphia wasn't ready, and Montreal was just too tired. So, although Carolina is an interchangeable team, and excuse me, I'm sorry, they don't have one line that you're going to key on in the finals, which may be a good thing, because if you're the coach on the other side, you don't know who to put your defensive forwards against, because all four of their lines are kind of interchangeable. There's not one dominant line that they really have. So that makes it a good advantage for Carolina. They can roll four lines with anybody. Vegas is a very experienced team. They won a cup 3 years ago. They're a very sound defensive team as well, because Tortorella has come in and installed the defensive system in their team, which they did not have when Bruce Cassidy was in charge. So the defense has played very well. They're a very solid team. They're a physical team. I think they're a much more physical team than Vegas. And goaltending, as Ishmael said, has been strong. Again, Ishmael, the goaltending during the regular season was inconsistent with Aiden Hill and whoever else they had play goal besides him. And bringing Hart into the mix late in the season has solidified it. He's played well. So you got some players on that team, mainly Marner, Eichel, Dorofeyev, really good offensive players. Then you got players like Brett Howden, who is, like I said, he was a bust in New York. He's scoring goals like the best of them right now. So it'll be an interesting series. Each team has strengths, each team has weaknesses. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to come down to which team will be the more physical team that can wear the other team down. So that being said, I think it's now time for each one of us, before we go into our news and notes section, which we will do, I think it's time for each one of us to do our predictions. Take your time and go into the series. Who do you think is going to win? Why do you think they're going to win? How many games are they going to win in? And who do you think is the Conn Smythe? And of course, we're gentlemen in this group, so we're going to let Carly go first. So Carly, you're on the floor.
Okay.
Analyze the series. Who's going to win it? How many games? And who's the MVP?
Well, I think Vegas is going to come in strong like they have been through the last few series, especially with Torts at the helm. good feeling that Marner is going to have a really good. I feel like him and then Eichel, the top two scorers right now. So I feel like they're just going to kind of keep that momentum moving forward for Vegas. Um, Honestly, I don't want to praise Vegas too much because they're just. You've been around long enough with me, you know that I just don't like Vegas.
A lot of people don't like.
No. But with Carolina, again, like you mentioned, like there's no superstar on that team. They're all interchangeable in a sense. They've had, yes, an easy in the sense series because they haven't gone past 5 games. They've had the most time off to rest, which I think possibly going in might. I don't know if it's going to kick them in the butt, just because they're so used to that going in that they might just get too comfortable. Think right like for me looking at Carolina, I think the only one person that's maybe going to help save them is going to be Freddie Anderson in the net, just because I feel like he's just been overall a really good goaltender this playoff run. But again, have they been tested like you mentioned? That's a good question to bring up as well. So there's a lot of pros and cons with both teams for me as to who's going to win, who's not. But I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm just going to go with Carolina. As much, as I think Vegas has a really good shot, but I think that this series is going to challenge Carolina the most because I think this is going to go to at least 6 games. I think they're going to go back and forth a little bit with Vegas, but I'm going to go with Carolina. And if Carolina does take it, I think Anderson's going to walk away with the Conn Smythe Trophy.
You have Carolina in 6 and Freddie Anderson as the Conn Smythe winner.
Carolina wins it, yes.
No, not if. You can't go if. You got to make a prediction.
That's my answer. I'm going to go with Freddie.
Okay, so you're predicting Carolina winning in 6 with Anderson as the MVP.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to have you written down.
Honestly, look at it. He's been the only one that has shown up. And again, it goes back to, how you questioned earlier if they've been tested or not. And we're going to find out.
All right, so you're on record now, Carly. So we'll see how that goes. Now let's go to Mr. Canada. Ishmael, your thoughts on the series, analyze it, and predictions, please.
Well, I think well, here's the thing: it's gonna all come down to goaltenders, and you can say all you want about Carter Hart, how he's responded to his incident, how he's come back from that, but it's the Stanley Cup final, and I can assure you, when he's in the back of the net, the Carolina Hurricanes fan base will let him hear about it. They will taunt him. They will harass him. They'll let him hear about it. And they're gonna mess with his mind all about it. Whether he's going to the tunnel and everything. I think, and of course, Freddie Anderson is a more experienced goaltender, and based on that, and I can understand Vegas has a stronger like a more experienced offense, but Carolina is just too diverse in their scoring. I'm picking Carolina for this in 6 games, and Freddie Anderson, and considering that Carter Hart has he's carrying a lot of baggage, which Carolina fans will exploit. I know how this goes with fans, especially how Leaf fans do it here, So I know that they will mess with his mind. They will f with his mind on that, and I just don't see. I think they'll break him to a point where he'll lose focus, and I think Carolina will take advantage of that, and Freddie Anderson will be Conn Smythe winner.
So Ishmael being very original, picking Carolina in 6 with Freddie Anderson. Didn't we just?
Hey, I said this in the beginning of the whole.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You remember I said this in the beginning in my beginning preview that in the whole thing that I chose Freddie Anderson as the MVP.
Okay, so you're both on record with the exact same predictions. Okay, that's easy to remember. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not going to be the same as my cohorts. No. So here's my analyzing of this series. I am calling this the case of boredom versus redemption. Okay? When I say boredom, I'm talking about the Carolina Hurricanes. They are a very boring team to watch. I've been saying that. I can't watch them. They bore the crap out of me, rolling the same lines over and over and over again. It's a great strategy. It works, but for me, it's boring as hell. They're quote-unquote superstars, which they don't really have. Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis have been pretty much invisible during the playoffs. They're not really doing anything. So they're not superstars. They're not. Matter of fact, what annoys the crap out of me more than anything is, you know where their best player has been? And you saw him the other night. If you watched the post game, I don't know if they had it in Canada. If you watched the post game of the Carolina win over Montreal, what did they show? They showed Keandre Miller, former Ranger,
Newborn
who's
baby?
playing outstanding on the bench with his new little baby,
Mm-hmm.
crying. I was very happy for Keandre Miller. I mean, granted, I thought his time in New York had come and gone. He didn't live up to expectations, but now he's on a good team and he's showing his talent that he has. Good for him. And you know what? He could be a potential MVP if Carolina wins it. But they're not going to win it. Okay? When I talk about redemption, I'm talking about the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And there are two people on the Golden Knights that fit the word redemption. The first is their coach, John Tortorella.
He's going to be an MVP?
What?
He's going to be an MVP?
Can you shut up, please? I'm doing my speech. I didn't interrupt you.
Okay.
Please, this is going to be a snippet on the internet that's going to blow up the internet. Shut up. Back to what I was saying. John Tortorella is my first case of redemption because, yes, he did win a cup in 2004 with Tampa Bay. Since then, he's coached a number of teams, including my New York Rangers. He's always been a good coach, but he's been misunderstood by a lot of cities. Oh, he's too tough. Oh, he doesn't play the kids. Oh, he's bad with the media, blah, 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 blah. Tortorella was sitting out after coaching the USA Hockey Olympics as an assistant coach this year, and Vegas came a-calling. And he said, Torts, we have a bunch of good players on this team. Some of them we could call superstars. They're just not producing the way they should. We want you to come over here, come out of retirement, so to speak, and coach us to a championship. And Torts said, okay, I'm going to do it. And what has he done since he's been with the Vegas Golden Knights? 16-3-3. That is his record since he's come to Vegas. He's led his team to the final. He has coached them how to play defense. He is not only playing the veterans, which Vegas is a veteran team, he's playing some of the kids as well. He's learned his lesson. And I believe that John Tortorella is going to lead the Vegas Golden Knights to the Stanley Cup. That will be his redemption. He will say, thank you very much, NHL. I've now won 2 cups. I am a Hall of Fame candidate. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back home and help animals get homes. Because that's what he does. He's very into that. He likes to get dogs and cats homes. That's why I love him. He's got a thing to my heart. Now, who's the other case of redemption on my little roster here? That would be the name Carter Hart.
Oh,
Now, why is Carter Hart redemption for Rob? Well, Carter Hart was involved in a scandal and had to leave the Flyers along with 4 other players on the NHL because there were allegations against him by a female. Went to court in Canada, went to trial. Carter Hart was claimed to be not guilty of the offense, along with the other assailants. Carter Hart had to wait around because a lot of teams didn't want to touch him. I had talent, but they didn't want to give him a second chance because, oh, no. He was involved in this sex scandal. We can't have him on our team. No, taboo. Well, guess what? The Vegas Golden Knights said, you know what? Our goaltending sucks. What do we got to lose? Let's give the kid a chance. And they said, Carter Hart, come over to the Vegas Golden Knights. And what has Carter Hart done since he's been to Vegas? Played outstanding. As a matter of fact, he's one of the main reasons I think that Vegas is now in the final. Okay?
Mm.
That being said, between John Tortorella, Carter Hart, and that guy Mitch Marner that used to play for Toronto that Ishmael gave up on, I'm predicting the Vegas Golden Knights are going to win their 2nd cup in the last 3 years. They're going to win the cup in 6 games on home ice. So we're going to see a celebration in Vegas, which will be amazing. And Carter Hart, not Freddie Anderson, Carter Hart is going to be your Conn Smythe winner because he's going to steal 2 games in this series on his ass to lead the Golden Knights to the Stanley Cup. There you go, boys and girls.
I wrote it down.
You wrote it down. Well, it's easy to write down Ishmael's because it's the same as yours.
I just did the air quotes.
I did the air quotes. So the air quotes are good. So those are our predictions, boys and girls, and we will see who gets it right. And whoever gets it right The other two people, if they're wrong, will pay the other person $100.
Now,
They
so that
just
means
keep
you
up
have
with
to give
that.
Ishmael and I both $100 if we both win.
No, we'll split it 50-50. That's our predictions. Take it for what it's worth. We'll see what happens. The games are going to be starting in about 15, 20 minutes. So now we have it on, and next time we meet, the series will be underway, and we'll see how we're going. Now, before we wrap up this shortened version of Saving a Beauty, we do have some news and notes that I want to get to that I think is kind of important. Um, Did we discuss this last week about Claude Lemieux?
No, it was
No.
right after we.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very sad. Claude Lemieux, who I obviously remember, a little older in my cohort. I remember Claude Lemieux playing in the 90s. He won cups with the Devils, with the Canadiens, with the Avalanche. He was extremely noted for the famous Colorado-Detroit series that took place in the mid-90s. They were battles when both teams were good. As a matter of fact, there's a great ESPN 30 for 30. It's a 2-hour version, and I forgot the name of it. And Claude Lemieux is featured prominently in it. And if you haven't seen it, look it up on ESPN's 30 for 30. It's the Avalanche Detroit showdown. It's a great show. And what was really weird about it and really cryptic is Claude Lemieux, who was an agitator, and some people think borderline Hall of Famer, but he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. He showed up to bring the torch in the series in Montreal and Carolina in Game 3 to a rousing ovation. 2 days later, he's found dead. Unfortunately, the cause of death has been deemed a suicide, and there's a lot of rumors about why it would have happened, and we can get into that at another show. But really sad. You don't want to see anybody die this way. I don't want to see anybody die, period. But suicide could have been prevented. 60 years old. He leaves behind a wife and 4 kids, one of which is Brendan Lemieux, who played in the NHL for a number of teams. Guys, I was really, really touched and really sad to hear that news.
It was definitely a shock because we saw him that Monday carrying that torch, and then just like you said, like 2-3 days later, that news hit, and it just kind of like made you have to stop and kind of like, is this real? Is this real life? What's going on? So yeah, it came out of nowhere. Definitely a shock to everyone in the hockey community for sure.
Yeah, I can like understand that, like sometimes people look on the surface, that they're happy and everything, but deep down inside they're fighting, personal demons, that you're not even aware of, um, and it seems like people seem that everything, like on surface people seem like everything is good, they're living the perfect life, but then they're just fighting wars inside of them. Like I can personally experience actually tell that from experience, myself, and it's just when you're asked especially when you're asked to do your regular chores and everything, do your work and do your regular job and everything, and then your regular household duties and everything, and be a regular brother or son, and then in the meantime you're like fighting your inner demons. People just don't see what's going on inside of you, and it's hard to explain to people. And unfortunately for him, he couldn't resist that, and I'm sorry for what his family is going through right now. Yeah, it's just hard to see that.
And I guess if any of us on this show can say anything to anybody out there that actually watches us, if any of you are fighting any demons internally, don't let it get to that level. Please talk to somebody. There's always hope out there. Don't give up. It's very sad, and it sucks. A lot of us know people that have done this. It's just very
The
sad.
world is
So,
the world is better with you in it.
absolutely. So rest in peace to the great Claude Lemieux, and we're going to miss him. Let's two positive things we could talk about, and it both happened today, as a matter of fact, I believe. First of all, the Vancouver Canucks, Carly, your team, has a new coach. And ironically enough, this is a guy that I talked about a couple of weeks ago after I was pissed off about the lottery, saying that the New York Rangers are going to probably draft his son, and he's going to suck like his dad. But now his dad is now the coach of Vancouver. Who are we talking about, Carly?
Manny, I can never say his last name. Malhotra?
Malhotra. Malhotra.
Malhotra?
Well, you better
Yeah,
get named. He's going to be your coach, God
I
damn it.
know. Um, I didn't really follow much of his career. I know he was the AHL coach for the
And
Canucks, and they've had a really good few
they
seasons.
won the championship 2 years ago.
Yeah, so
in 2025. I
Yeah,
mentioned that.
No, it was 2 years ago.
that was last year.
Was
It
it
was last
last
year.
year? Okay, I could be wrong. I'm sorry. What do I know? All right,
Um,
but yeah, he did win as coach. Yes, he did win, and now he will be the new coach of the Canucks.
so hopefully, fingers crossed. We don't finish last in the league. That'll be nice. So,
Nice. Now,
But
here's the question. Here's what ironic what I would ask you. Well, when did they pick in the draft this year? What number pick do
yeah,
they have?
I think they're at third.
Are they third?
I think
yeah,
so.
that's third. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be interesting?
Because
Wouldn't
they
it be,
were supposed to, they had the higher chance for first, and then they just kept getting bumped down.
wouldn't it be interesting if the Canucks now draft Manny's son?
I think that's very likely.
You think so? I can play for dad. Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would
I'm
be
going to give you guys a little known fact about Manny Malhotra. Ishmael, you'll appreciate this. Do you know that Manny Malhotra skates barefoot?
I've got another good fact about you about Manny Malhotra.
I just wanted to let you know that. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I know another very
I have
important.
another one better than mine. What do you got?
Manny Malhotra went to the same high school as I did.
In Pakistan?
No, in
Oh,
here in Canada, in John
I
Fraser.
don't know. Really?
Yeah,
And obviously, Manny Malhotra a lot more famous than you are and made a lot more money.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
that
good.
sucks.
I'm sure that's what people say when they look at the sign on the high school walking in. What's the name of the high school?
John Fraser Secondary School.
Okay, whatever. John Day Secondary School, home of Manny Malhotra and Ishmael Fassi. Okay, that's what they
that's
say.
fine, just like fine
But
print.
they say that.
So I guess we can like log down the first three picks. It's either Gavin McKenna or Ivar Stenberg, and then third is Caleb Malhotra, right?
That's Ivar Stenberg.
Ivar, whatever. I guess.
Okay, whatever.
Leave it that way.
And all right. Well, good luck to Manny. And
Yes.
thank God, and hopefully he takes his kid because I really don't want the Rangers to pick him because I guarantee if the Rangers pick his son, he'll suck.
It's just not
Um, One more thing, and I was surprised they announced this today because isn't the NHL going to do their postseason award show that they do every year when they announce all the big awards on that show? Are they not doing that this year?
No, last year they had surprised players beforehand.
But so now today the NHL announced the winner of one of their big three awards, the Norris Trophy, which is for the best defenseman. And I was like, wait a minute, wouldn't they wait to do that on their award show? But they awarded it today,
Well, the best
and
isn't in the
and the winner to me, well deserved, but I got to be honest, I was a little surprised, was Columbus Blue Jackets Zach Werenski. I thought for sure, because the NHL just does not know how to be creative, they would have probably given it to Cale Makar, but no, they gave it to Zach Werenski. First-time winner, had a great season for Columbus, been a great player for them for 10 years. Very well-deserving, very happy for him. Guys, your thoughts?
I think that everyone was thinking Kale McCarr, but honestly, I
Yes.
think Zach Werenski has had a better season, has shown. Yeah, I think this is the perfect pick for the Norris Trophy, and it's his first one, so that is a big congratulations to Zach. And yeah, I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, I'll go and echo those words. He's part of a young team. Unfortunately, they didn't make the playoffs this year, but this will go far along and take his playing game to the next level. He's just getting started in his career. He's gonna take Columbus to new heights. So I can tell you that.
By the way, Adam Fox, the Rangers got one vote. Okay, I don't know who did it, but somebody voted for him. All right, and lastly, this is the last thing I want to discuss before we say goodnight, because I want to have steak for dinner. And we're going to let Ishmael discuss this because Ishmael was obsessed with the World Championships. Probably was the only one in Canada watching on the television. So he's given me a whole bunch of stuff in his notes, which we're not going to go over all of it. But Ishmael, can you please give us a recap of the tournament? In your own words, you have 1 minute to do a recap.
Cliff
Go.
notes, go.
Okay. So as you guys had seen, so the World Championships had finished, and Finland led by with Costa Helenius, who is a Buffalo Sabres prospect. He launched him the overtime goal to beat the Swiss, which is kind of crazy because the Swiss have now had 3 straight silver medalists, silver
They were a
medals.
Swiss miss. The comedy you get on the show is unbelievable. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so as I was saying, but as you, is my screen blinking? Okay, no,
No,
never
you're
mind.
go. Keep going because your minute's running out. So let's go. Come
Okay.
on.
Okay, so even though but so like for Constance Helenus, who was an AHL All Star. I mean, I think I know you guys are probably thinking that this was a, no, a nonsense tournament, but for people like Constance Helenus, and I'll explain about of course Ivar Sandberg. For them, like it's for us, like if we take, I'll put it in like this: if we take a seventh grade exam, it will mean nothing to us. But if a kindergartner passes a seventh grade exam, it's like a big achievement for them. So for 18-year-olds, like 19-year-olds like Constance Ivar Stenberg, if they are performing well in senior tournaments like this, it means the world to them. So, and of course, you saw the all-star team. Roman Yossi, Macklin Celebrini, Alexander Barkov. These were the all-star names, and you saw. Yeah, you saw Ivar Stenberg. He put one of the best scoring records in the, and Roman Yossi was actually the MVP of the tournament, best defender. Macklin was the best forward. Best goaltender went to some no-name person. So
Person. He's got a
But-
name for his family. Don't say that to his family. The guy has a family.
We just talked about, just like being important and like.
All right, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let's stop, Ishmael. I don't need to read. The good news for me was that anytime Canada loses in a tournament, I'm happy. And
By the
they
way,
lost in the bronze
I
medal
want to
match.
mention to you that Norway, the team that beat Canada,
Yes.
their
And
leading
was my boy Matt Zuccarello on that team.
no, but
He did not play for them?
no,
Oh? Oh.
Nope.
Okay. I thought he was playing for them after he got eliminated. Well,
no.
then who cares
But
about
here's the
Norway?
thing: their leading scorer was an 18-year-old Norwegian who is a Maple Leaf prospect.
Ishmael Zuccarello? What was his name? What was his name? And a Leaf prospect. That's it. His career is over. Okay,
Poor
well,
guy.
what are you gonna do?
His name
Right.
is Tinus Luke Koblar.
Yeah, okay. Let's say that name 3 times fast. Okay. We'll remember that one in a couple of weeks.
I mean, no, but for him, as an 18-year-old, to be the leading scorer on a team where there are like senior players and get a bronze medal, I mean that's pretty huge. So, and he's playing in the SHLs, and yeah, and beating out Magnus Celebrinis. But Magnus Celebrini got the best forward in the tournament, and being a tournament where he was captain for the first time in his career, I mean that's pretty good. Even though they didn't get a medal. By the way, this is the first time ever
Rob's gonna miss.
First time ever in a calendar year that Canada did not get a gold, did not get a medal in the World Juniors,
Thank God for that.
the Olympics.
Good.
Actually, no, not the Olympics. The World Juniors,
Yes.
the World Championships,
Bunch
and
of fucking peasants in Canada. That's what
one
it
more
is.
tournament, and one more tournament after.
All right, goodbye.
Rob's
All right,
getting hungry.
Yeah, Rob is very hungry, and if he doesn't stop in 2 minutes, the wife is going to cook the steak, and he's going to be eating salad. I don't want salad. I want steak. So that concludes Saving a Beauty, episode 46. Episode 16. Why wouldn't we get it that far? You have our predictions. Write them down, boys and girls, and we will see you next week. The series will be underway, and let's hope for some good hockey, because if not, then I got to watch the Knicks. So that concludes Saving a Beauty. For Carly, for Ishi, this is Rob. We'll see you next week. Let's go watch the final. Bye.
Bye.